But yeah, if you're like low on dishes, totally a one bowl recipe. They're cookies, you know? Merry meet and welcome. Today we're going to be taking on Phoebe's oatmeal cookie ice cream sandwiches. So personally, I'm only going to be showing you one ice cream sandwich that I'm making just because it is the time of year. So it's this recipe, I was like, oh, I'll make it in the summer, but then I didn't want to turn on my oven to make the cookies. And now I'm like, okay, I need to find a good winter day when I'm also like ready to eat ice cream. So you're gonna have to pick your poison if you're having cold during cold, or if you're going to heat up your home during the hot. Or you just go buy out oatmeal cookies yourself. Because that's essentially just what we're gonna start this with. So let's go ahead, just get going with it, and have a good time. Merry meet again. So here we are. This was also the original recipe. I'm realizing that I was gonna introduce using a flax egg, and since I ended up not doing it during the summer, we have not really tested this, but you have now seen me use flax egg and other things. So I originally wanted to do it for the oatmeal cookies because when you're using flaxseed, you're going to be having a little bit more of a nuttier flavor, I believe, versus a chia seed. So yeah, so that's why I wanted to go ahead and use this one. I think chia seed still would be completely fine. It was more just to show the different versions. As you can see, and I do talk about this in, I believe, the black and white cookies one, I have to grind mine. I don't have pre-ground ones, and so sometimes it might look a little bit different than what others experience, but it still accomplishes what we're needing, which in this case is binding. With that, let's go ahead. We have our softened butter, we have our egg, we have vanilla, we have regular granulated sugar, and we have brown sugar. So this, I'm gonna try, I've had the butter like sitting out for an hour today. So because I was like, I don't want another repeat of last time. I probably could have used the whisk for this, but I'm saving that for some reason and didn't feel like using both. So this is also why I like to make sure that we get the butter as softened as possible, so I can just put pressure on it and mix it versus super having to worry. But yeah, we're just mixing this. Eventually we are just gonna mix everything together, so I'm not gonna lie to you, as long as it's mostly mixed, that's probably gonna be good. Yeah, sorry for the noise. I feel like I'm being so loud. I don't know, it's another highly sensitive day, so super fun for me. I like had a really good weekend, and then all of a sudden I woke up today like, go time, you're behind. Not true at all. In fact, we're like kind of on point for once. So yeah, anyways, I think this looks decently gorgeous, so I'm gonna go ahead, put this off to the side, and we have some oats, flour, the raisins, and then we have the salt, baking soda, and cinnamon in here. Just really wanted to put those to show you all at once. And then we're just gonna mix these. These are just our dry ingredients, and we just want to get them, I could have done the raisins after, honestly, because those will make it a little bit harder with the whisk, but my main goal is just to get the flour and oats and their seasonings and that baking soda more evenly dispersed. And then we're going to be adding the dry into the wet. Did I completely forget to preheat my oven? Yes, so make sure to preheat your oven at 375. Personally, probably means I'll walk around in my kitchen, get some steps in while I'm waiting on that. So we're just going to add this in. She doesn't really say like make sure to only do half or anything, and you know me, I probably, honestly, we could have made this in one bowl, but I like to honor the wet versus dry ingredients every once in a while. But yeah, if you're like low on dishes, totally a one bowl recipe. They're cookies, you know? But yeah, she says to mix this, so essentially we're gonna do the same thing where we are trying to get this dough all into a dough. And so that's why I wanted the spatula with like more of a scoop, because I was hoping it'd make it easier, but I think it's made it more difficult on me. So what I'm going to do is switch spatulas, and I'll check in with you guys when we have our formed dough instead. You don't need to see this. And we have our cookies on the baking sheet. Merry maiden, welcome again. So super glad I just listened to myself instead to finish this off camera because I feel a lot better, you know, just simple things, leaning into ourselves. But I did go ahead and she says to put them out like 1-inch tablespoonfuls. I push them down because I always hate it. I'm not sure if it's going to puff up more or flatten out. So I just wanted a little bit rounder because I like not knowing how this is gonna go will work either way. I'm assuming they're going to flatten out a little bit because her measurement size doesn't make sense for, unless that's a really small, that's the thing about pictures, so maybe it is. But when I think of a ice cream sandwich, it's not this size, it's bigger. So like I was hoping that we could cut the I'll just show you. I was just hoping we could do that trick where they like literally cut the ice cream in half and then you have like the perfect circle already. So that's what I wanted. So I'm hoping that these go. If not, who cares? It'll be fine. But we're gonna go ahead. My oven's preheating and we're going to bake these for about 10 minutes. After that, we're gonna go ahead, make sure that they get all nice and cool because if we put a hot cookie onto ice cream, they both are going to melt. So it will just completely fall apart. And I'm personally not going to have my ice cream softened because I'm hoping to cut it in half. If I find out that the cookies don't flatten, then I will go ahead and soften the ice cream because these essentially will just be like spoonfuls that I put in between each. I shouldn't say each because I'm only really making one, but who knows, now I have all this. All right, talk to you soon when we have our baked cookies. Merry meet again. So here we are, we have our cookies. They did flatten a little bit, but not too much, but I think maybe enough that we can do this, which is gonna be really, I'm trying to, so like right here is the edge. So hopefully we should be able to get it here and get us, oh, it helps when you cut straight. I did not cut straight at all. No. Okay, second attempt. Okay, so I will say this ice cream, it just isn't the right ice cream to have to cut into because it just falls apart and that's just how it is. So we're using So Delicious dairy-free today. Yep, this is all I'm doing is combining this, and so that's why she says to have it softened because then you can combine it and it'll actually stay together a little bit more. I'm honestly not a huge fan of ice cream sandwiches. There's a reason why it took me so long to get here. But yeah, this is just ice cream and an oatmeal cookie. So I already know this tastes good. I'm gonna go ahead, clean up this mess, put the rest of this ice cream into a bowl, let it soften up, and then we'll maybe make some of the other ones how we'd need to, but I do recommend letting it soften and doing it. But what I was starting to say is this fun idea I got to finally try, which is good because I've not been in the best mood today. So it's kind of like, yeah, let me cut this up. So with that being said, at least I got to, no. What am I saying? What am I even doing? That's it. This is the video. Thank you for being here. This is our oatmeal cookie ice cream sandwich and different ways that you can substitute in order to make this yourself or to make treats for others. The other cookies are still small. Like I said, I'm gonna let this soften up and just spoon them, and so you can make them as little party treats, which I think could be fun because you can control the size of the cookies and therefore the size of the ice cream, since you don't have to or really want to try to use this technique of trying to get a whole circle. So part of it's user error, 100%, but I also think this is the wrong ice cream to try to do that with. I think there's probably just better dairy-free ice cream, like probably oat milk one would be better than a coconut one. I don't know what it is about coconut, but it just falls apart. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for being here with me.